Lesson 10. After 20 years. One cold rainy night, a police officer on patrol walked up to a man who had catch his eye. The man had been standing on the corner for 15 minutes. Strange, particularly in this weather. The man spoke up quickly and reassuringly. "It's all right, officer. I'm just waiting for my friend Jimmy Wells." The officer looked surprised. The man laughed. "You see, we made the appointment 20 years ago, before I headed for the West." He went on to explain that on the night they promised each other that if they were still alive about after 20 years, they would meet again here. We tried waiting to each other, but soon we lost touch, as I was constantly moving from place to place. But sir, whether I want, I was always looking forward to this day. "What a true friend you are," the officer said, offering to light the man's cigar. As the officer struck a match, he saw the man more clearly. A scar near his keen eyes, a square face, and a tiny gold pin with a large shiny diamond on his skirt. "Thanks," the man proved. "Jimmy was a decent man, and I hope he's done well." The officer said, "Well, sir, I'm sure you have done well yourself." The man grinned. "How right you are. Life in the West was slow. I had been complaining with some smart guys and taking a few chances, but I did well." The officer replied, "I have to go. Are you sure you want to wait? It's cold." The man nodded. "Yes, I believe Jimmy will show up." The officer bade him good night and left. The man looked at his gold watch, whose was made of a small diamonds. Said 3 minutes to 10. The wind blew hold her head harder. The man pulled up his coat collar. The cold was nothing. He had seen much worse. A tall man in a long overcoat and a hat hurried from across the street. He walked straight to a man who had been waiting, pushed and asked, Is that you, Bob?" "Jimmy Wells, I'm so glad to see you," shouted the man from the West. The tall man gave him a hug. "How has the West treated you, old friend?" Bob said, "If it has given me everything I wanted. Now you have changed quickly a bit. Jimmy, you look 2 or 3 inches taller. How have you been doing in New York?" "Not bad," said the tall man. "I worked for the city government. Bob, let's go somewhere and chat about the old times." The two men walked on and on. The man from the West talked proudly about himself. The other man listened with interest. When they came in front of a dark store that was bright with lights, each man turned to look at each other. The man from the West stopped suddenly and released the other man's arm. "You are not Jimmy Wells," he shouted, looking startled. 20 years is a long time, but no long enough to change the space of man's nose. It sometimes changes a good man into a bad one," said the tall man, putting his arm on Bob's shoulder. "You are under arrest, Bob. The Chicago police informed us of you come here. Before we go to the station, here's a note for you. It's from Officer Wells." The man from the West read the note. His head trembled. "Bob, I was there on time when I struck the match. I was finally caught accountant that you were the man wanted for robbery in Chicago. Somehow I couldn't arrest you myself, so I got my colleague to do it, Jimmy.